In this video about schematics, I'll take a look at how we can use the quantity takeout and schematic function within Vasari and Revit to validate that we have the right square meters, cost, and to separate and build up different kind of proposals and design options within a schedule. I have now opened the conceptual environment within Vasari, and in this video I'll show how we can use schematics functions within Vasari or Revit to validate that we have the right quantities and cost and energy use of our proposed development. And this methodology you can of course apply within Revit and also at later stages in the project where you're working with real building components inside Revit. So there's really two things that I want to show here. First of all, how we can use a mass schedule to control the way we look at our design and to set up different design options. Something that we can do as well with design options, but that we sometimes need to control within a schedule. And then to set up a schedule with some different shared parameters and some project parameters, and to make some calculated values and to use yes and no parameters to validate that we have the right square meters in relation to the overall program, and to set in things that we might get out of energy simulations in the conceptual energy analysis or from another tool. The first thing I'll do is I'll go to model to create a mass, and just to create a simple mass here, say it like that, create form, hitting AL for align, hitting the top level here and notching this down, and then by hitting tab to mark out the full mass, go to visibility, and to add a parameter, go to shared parameters, say select, and I already made these two shared parameters. So I'm loading in design 1 and say I want to make this an instance to apply for only this mass, okay, and say finish mass. And now I can control the visibility of the mass within the model and within my schedule here. Then I want to add another mass, create mass, and say okay, we'll create another mass here. So okay, mark out the mass, create form, hitting align, top level, and marking out the full mass, go to visibility, add parameter, shared parameter, say select, design number 2, and make this an instant parameter as well. Okay, so we finish mass. And now I can control which type of geometry are really included in the design that I'm working on. So to use this methodology, you can build up different kind of shading devices, different kind of geometry to represent the same building. So just next thing I'll do is just to mark out the mass and say mass floors and hit the levels I want to apply a mass floor. And now you see that my schedule updated because it's working as based on the floor areas in the mass floors. And I can of course update that, the mass and my square meters, and the information here is updated right away. So just to use this a bit more intelligent in the following process here, you can then make a schedule and build in some different functionality. So here I just want to show some different features that you can work with, making sure that you get the right quantities, cost, etc., and to use the strength of the database within Vasari or Revit. Here I can now add in from the program, will program the actual targets for the square meters on the different levels. So let's hit 1200 here and 1200 here, 1200 here, and let's say just 1000 here. I now get the difference, and I can see if I'm above or below the target area for the square meters, and here you'll see that I'm below, and here I'm not reaching my target here, and here I'm a bit below the target. Now I can add in a price, let's say $10 per square meters or 10 Danish kroner, and I can say okay, based on the energy analysis that I did, what is the energy use in kilowatt hours per square meter? So let's set this to 5, and based on the energy consumption and the price, I now get the overall costs for energy of this proposed development here. To show how this schedule is working, let's go to Manage, and let's go to Additional Settings, and go to Shared Parameters. And here you'll see that I added in a group called Schematics with area program. So let's have a look at that. It's just an area program, that's a name and common, and it's an area type. I'll include this in the dataset so you'll be able to go in and get a bit more sense of how this is working. So now that I did that, I want to go into my schedule by just hitting one of these edits here, edit fields, to see the fields that I set in. You'll now see that when I hit these different parameters, I'm only able to edit the parameters that are set up or added in parameters here. If I want to edit some of the other parameters, I can do it from here. Let's take a look at the colored values here. Let's look at area difference, and let's look at edit. So you'll see that this is a formula, area type, and it's really a formula, the mass floor areas minus the area program, which gives me the difference between the actual proposed envelopment and the specified square meters in the program. If we then go to formatting and go to conditional format and hitting area difference here, conditional format, you'll see that this will display based on this formula here that the area difference is lesser than 0 square meters. It will be green, and if we go to the area percentage, we can see that the area percentage has to be greater than 100%, or if it's greater than 100%, it will be red. But this is simply just a great way where we get some visual feedback and where we can work with our envelopment or the components in our model to have some direct feedback on the square meters and the form of our building here. Thank you.